Field Project by Michaela Boryschuk. I went to Croods Creek Elementary School, located at 50 North Lee Street, Helm, PA 17406. I was in a second grade classroom, and the dates that I visited were October 5th, October 19th, and October 26th. The hours that I visited were from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I had the opportunity to observe Miss April Stowe, and while I was there, I got to see English Language Arts, or ELA, and a brief overview of math and science in the classroom. This is a picture of her classroom. She has 4 students in a group with a tower in the middle. In total, Miss Stowe has 18 students. She has 9 boys and 9 girls. The cultural and racial demographics are African American, Asian, Latino, and Caucasian, and the age in the classroom are 8 and 9. In her classroom, she has 2 students that have possible specific learning disabilities in reading and math. She has 1 student with a possible defiance disorder and 1 student that is too young for 2nd grade. This is a U-shaped table to have group time with the teacher while the rest of the class work on another activity. Miss Stowe used this as a group time, and she reviewed materials that they have already went over, and sometimes she brought up new material depending on the group. This is a library card for the classroom library. Each student has their own library, and they check out their books by giving them to the teacher, and the teacher crosses out the previous book once she verbally confirms that they put it back, and she writes the new title. This is a picture of the classroom's rocket math. They have to complete the level that they are on before they move up, and they have to get a certain percentage on the one test to move up to the next level. And they have one rocket for addition and subtraction and 1 for multiplication and division. And this gives them a sense of progress of where they're at, and they can visually see their progress. The charts that are circled in the picture are groups for math and English language arts. For math, which is the blue chart, she has them put into different groups depending on the level of what they understand and what they don't understand. And she got these groups from the math test they took in the beginning of the year. And she also does this for the English language arts group. This is a pocket for the back of the chair. It's used for their independent reading books. They know where it is and what to do when they are done, and they are waiting for the teacher to start class or give them something to do. They pull out their book and read it. This is a math bag, and the math bag has math cubes, the shapes, markers, and erasers, and it has money in it. And this is for children to use during their math activities to help them complete it. This is a caddy that has materials for students to utilize throughout the day. It has highlighters, markers, erasers, calculators, glue, scissors, colored pencils, so they can utilize that throughout the day to complete classwork or projects they have. For Miss Stowe, this is a tower in the middle of the 4 desks. It has materials for the students to utilize. It has the caddy and it has a math bin. It has textbooks and it has clipboards for them when they're doing group work, because normally if they're doing group work, sometimes they're on the floor doing it. They have like all this different materials to help them complete different tasks. Before my field placement, I had some working experience with children with special needs. I just experienced preschool age and a little bit of elementary school, which just went up to kindergarten. At first, I thought I was going to be put in a special education classroom that taught life skills, but there was still students with needs, even though it wasn't that type of classroom. I think that my beliefs in special education and inclusion did change, because even though this teacher didn't have students in what I would have considered special education, she was still collecting data and modifying for the students that needed it. The experience has impacted my beliefs by changing the way I look at modifying and adapting, even when the students may not have a disability or have not been diagnosed yet or at all. One question I have about special education is, are there any different ways to approach a child that might have defiance disorder than being hard on them or harsh at them? And in my future classroom, I would use some of her individualized work. I really liked that she put them in different groups depending on where they're at and what they understand, so they can feel challenged and not feel behind or ahead. They're just where they need to be, not where anybody else needs to be. And I also liked her visual way of showing their progress, like her rocket math, and I will definitely use a progress that is visually seen in the classroom by the students. These are my field experience logs. On the left is my elementary field placement, and I went to Cruz Creek Elementary School. And on the right, I have my preschool field placement, and I went to the Cat Preschool in Lancaster.